Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Kisha. I'm the author of the Glamorous French Housewife blog. The link to that is below and it's also up top somewhere usually. So I am back today. I'm in my kitchen. I know I don't film in here a lot, but I just like the windows, so I thought I would film here today. Hope the lighting's okay. So I am back today with a housewife confessional, and it's more like a married life post on my blog, and it's the marriage and relationship goal link up that I'm linking up with Jessica from Life of a Sports Wife. So it's a lot of things combined. Now on my blog, I've done a ton of married life posts, from everything from being married with social media to handling a fight, how to communicate, how to stay connected. All of those, I wrote a ton of married life posts. I'll put the link up here and you can check them all out in your spare time if you're interested. But I thought today it would be fun to link up with Jessica. So like I said, she blogs over at Life of a Sports Wife. I'll link her blog below in case you're a blogger or a YouTuber and want to link up. I think it's a fairly new link up, but basically, and you can read her mission statement on her link up yourself, but basically it's a monthly link up where at the first Monday of every month you link up your goals that you want to set for the new month, and you discuss what goals you hit and maybe what goals you missed in the previous month in terms of your relationship. So that is it in a nutshell. I hope it's okay to be doing this via YouTube. I'm doing it this way this week. Some weeks I might do just a blog post, but I thought this would be kind of fun. So Scott and I, as many of you know, have been together for 10 years now. It's been a long time. It's been a long journey. And I always tell people that we have a real marriage. We have real problems. We have real good days, we have real bad days. We just live a normal life, a normal married life, and with that life are ups and downs. So here lately we have been struggling with Patrick, and Patrick is a friend that was a friend of my husband's first, but I quickly became friends with. We worked on the road in the beginning of our relationship, so we traveled a lot for Scott's job, and I went working with him, and Patrick also worked with Scott. So we all traveled together for a good 2 years, and a lot of problems came with Patrick. He's like a big drug addict, and he's had a lot of problems, and I've been happy just keeping him away. Well, recently my husband basically invited him into our lives again and was going to give him a job at his dealership. Well, I kind of flipped out because I just don't think that is the person to have around our family at this time. Patrick comes with a bunch of problems, and frankly, I just don't have the time or energy to deal with his issues when, we have our own family and our own family problems and commitments that we have to live up to, and that we have to work on and not be so focused on someone else. So with Patrick coming up here, it caused a whole lot of trouble. And Scott and I was arguing a lot. I was super upset, and I felt like at some points, they weren't being truthful with me. So we had quite a rough week last week. And for March, my goals are very, very simple: to communicate better with my husband and to share big life decisions together. Not just one of us should make such a big decision, such as bringing Patrick up here, or say bringing one of my friends or family members here. I think it's super important that for the month of March, we really do well with talking things through with what's going on. It's actually working well. My husband's going away in May, and he called today to say, hey, I have this business trip I have to go on. I just wanted to let you know, and these are the days I'm going to be gone. So that was kind of nice. So it's not just like a shock in May that he's going to be gone for a few days. Another goal is to keep things private from the kids. That's something that's really hard for us. We're a loud family. Scott and I are loud. I'm not really loud, except if I get real upset. Scott's just loud by nature. And Jackson hears stuff that he probably shouldn't hear sometimes, and it makes me feel awful. And my son really does deal with like childhood depression, and he has ADHD, so we're always like very focused on trying to keep him well adjusted and happy. But if he hears Scott and I argue, he totally like absorbs it like most children do, breaks my heart, and sometimes he blames himself, especially if we're arguing over something to do with him. So my goal really is to do whatever it takes to keep any adult matters private. If that means dragging Scott to the garage and shutting the door and having it out there, then that's what we'll have to do. Or if that means taking a drive just so we can have a talk in private about what's going on, that's something else. Scott is off most Wednesdays and Sundays, so Jackson is in school most of those Wednesdays. So, sometimes if things aren't like die hard things that we need to talk about right then, super important things, I think putting, just having a little notebook and putting those items that we don't want to discuss necessarily in front of Jackson, but are not hugely important that we have to discuss them right away, and wait till Wednesday for those. So and I got some of my stuff jotted down in case you see me looking down. So another goal for Scott and I is to find a church. Now, I don't know if we will accomplish this in March. It seems to be a daunting task for us. I was raised Catholic. He was raised Methodist. We watched Joel Osteen on Sunday mornings. We have been many times to many different churches. We just haven't found the right one quite yet. We're getting there, though, hopefully. And so I definitely want to find a church. I think it's important to pick God in your life. I think, praying together is important. We pray over our meals. I pray alone at night, but he prays too at night. So I just think that a church would be better for us. I just really do. It's just a matter of finding the right church, which is very, very hard, especially when you move to a new area. In Florida, we know exactly what church we want to go to, but we're not in Florida. In Kentucky, where we used to live, we know exactly what church we'd go to there, but here we are lost. Also, I think it's important for us this month not to so much think of it as, marriage through better and worse. We really want to think of it as marriage through better and better. We want it to keep improving. So trying to have a positive outlook is something I want to do this month too, because, I can run a lot of scenarios through my head. Half of them are just crazy. The other half are unfounded. And I think it's just easier to think positive, live in the moment, and just do our best to strive for better, and not just strive for it, but like program our minds for it. So just thinking positively and thinking positively. Another thing is the first 5 minutes when your spouse comes home is like the most important time. It pretty much sets the mood for the entire evening. So usually the first 5 minutes Scott gets home, we're saying hi to each other. He's saying hi to the animals. He's taking off his tie, taking off his shoes, grabbing a beer or a martini, depending on how his day went. And I really want to focus on actually getting up, going to him, giving him a kiss, giving him a hug. There's some days me and the dog like tackling him, and Jackson tackling him the minute he comes in. There's other days I'm busy doing my own thing. I'm just happy that he's home, and I don't so much give him the kiss and the hug that I think he really wants. My husband is extremely affectionate. I, on the other hand, am not. So I have to balance that out a little better and take the first 5 minutes when he walks in and make it the best I can make it. So the rest of the night will fall in line with that. Another goal of mine for our relationship is more date nights. We had, like last week last week and into this week, we had 2 rather expensive date nights, kind of pretty close together. I definitely love those. One was just Scott and I, one was Jackson and us. And I still think it's important to go out with Scott and just have a night where we're enjoying dinner and the atmosphere and maybe a glass of wine. And we're not thinking about Jackson in school or doctor's appointments or work problems or schedule conflicts. We're just thinking about each other and our relationship and just taking time to listen, actually hear what each other is saying. I heard a long time ago that, most people, husbands and wives included, just want to be seen, just want to be heard, just to know that they're important. And I need to do that more with my husband. I know. We've been together so long, we can basically read each other's thoughts. I promise you, if we're standing across a room together and I'm upset and just get upset, I can look at my husband and he's going to know something is going on. And he's pretty much guaranteed to know what I'm upset about. He just can read me that well after these many years. Same goes with him. So, I just want to see him more, hear him more, understand where he's coming from on certain things, and try to be a little more patient when it comes to talking. Sometimes we're quick to talk back, but we don't always listen as well. So, I'm guilty of that as anybody else. I'm going to try to work on that. Another relationship goal for March, which might sound funny, is reteaching my husband to use a laundry basket. Him and Jackson both just have trouble hitting the laundry basket. Might sound little, but it really does aggravate the shit out of me. So I want to, gradually try to talk my husband into using the laundry basket without sounding like I'm nagging or bitching, which is not always so easy either, because, you're picking up socks and you're picking up clothes, and after doing that 100 times, get a little fed up when there's laundry baskets. But there's ways to handle it, and there's ways to not handle it, so I'm trying my best to handle it a little bit better and, work on that. So, our goals are really rather simple. I'm not making huge goals. I'm making small ones. I'm writing them down. So next month, on the first Monday of the month, I will come back and tell you how it's been working out. I can't promise it's going to work out perfectly, but we're just going to keep trying and keep trying to do better. I just want our relationship to be better. And, we've been together 10 years. We've never broke up once. Never. But it's not always an easy road to be on. It's hard, and marriage is the toughest thing I've ever done. I mean, harder than childbirth. Parenting is really hard too, but for me, I think marriage is harder because I'm not going to run out on the kids, but, get me good and upset, I might want to run away from my marriage. It's complicated, it's hard, and it takes a lot of work. So, I think link-ups like this is super important for all wives and husbands and friends, because we can all learn from each other. And again, if you want to read any of my married life posts, there's tons of those on my blog. I'll link it right there in case you're not. And if you're new here, welcome. Normally the first Monday of the month, I do Monday Mail, where I show what's coming in the post office box. I will be doing that. But as long as this link up is alive, I thought it might be a little more important the first day of the month to focus on our relationship. And I'll put Monday Mail up on a different Monday. So don't worry, that is still coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to link up if you want to. I'm sure she don't mind YouTubers. Be sure to link up and share your relationship goals for the month of March. And I'll be happy to read them or watch them myself. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.